Hey everyone, Zain here, and today we're going to compare between Google Pay versus Samsung Pay. I'll tell you about the differences and which one should you choose. And in fact, they have so many similarities. And sometimes the choice between both will depend on whether you use an Android or an iOS, because Samsung Pay can only be downloaded on Samsung or Android phones, while Google Pay can be used on both iOS phones and Android phones. And when talking about the functionality, they can do the exact same things. You can send payments, you can accept payments, you can go ahead and pay for things when you are out. And for the availability between both, they are relatively the exact same thing. If you walk into a gas station and if they support Google Pay or Apple Pay, they probably support Samsung Pay since they use the exact same payment method as Google Pay through NFCs. So you are pretty much going to be getting the same type of payment method whether you use Google Pay or Samsung Pay. There are many people owning Samsung devices, and you can even use both services on your Samsung device. You can use Google Pay or even Samsung Pay, it doesn't matter. And actually, when comparing between these two services, Google Pay and Samsung Pay, it is not as comparing between Google Pay and Apple Pay or Samsung Pay versus Apple Pay, because not many stores support the Apple Pay because they do not use the same payment method, the NFCs. They use something different in Apple Pay. And when talking more about the functionality, they are pretty much the same. You can add credit cards to both systems. You can delete credit cards from both systems. You can add coupons, you can add gift cards, you can add bank accounts, PayPals, and there are so many things that you can do with both services. And the good thing when using Samsung Pay is that you can not only use it on your Samsung phone, you can also use it on Samsung watches. So you can simply download the application, link it to your watch, and you can also do the same transactions and payments using your Samsung smartwatch. And when talking about the level of security between both, I think both provide good or high level of security, but Google Pay may have an upper hand here in the security system because, as you know, it's linked to your Google Gmail, and your Gmail is linked to your mobile phone, and so on. And when talking about which one that you can choose in order to get more products through merchants or stores, at this point Google Pay will win it because there are many terminals, many devices that support this type of service, even more than Samsung Pay and Apple Pay. So when talking about the availability, Google Pay will win, but as I mentioned before, if you go into any big mall or any gas station or any big stores, you will probably find them also support the Samsung Pay service. So in fact, there are no big differences between them. You can use both if you have a Samsung device. You can try both of them, then make a decision which one will you keep on your device. But if you have an iOS, you don't have many choices. You can only use Google Pay. And also, if you do not have a Samsung device, even if it's Android, you'll have to download Google Pay as well. So there are no big differences. You can use whatever thing that you want. But for me, if I have a Samsung device and I can't use both, I will actually use just one of them, which is Google Pay. And you all can share your opinion down below in the comments. So let me know which one will you choose. And that is it for today. If you find this video helpful, please don't forget to support us with like, subscribe, comment, share, and see you in a new video.